All right. Hey, folks. Hope everybody's having a good week. I just want to share with you a cool program that I just finished on Audible. So it's called Living from a Place of Surrender, The Untethered Soul in Action. So the author is Michael A. Singer. So Michael A. Singer wrote The Untethered Soul and The Surrender Experiment. He is probably my favorite author. I love this guy. He's just a super cool, down-to-earth guy. The Surrender Experiment tells the story of his life and what he kind of went through. And honestly, I thought it was fiction so many times through the book. I'm listening to it or I'm reading it. I forget how I did it, but I was thinking so many times, like, this can't be real. Like, this is amazing how this works, right? So he talks about surrendering to the flow of life. So think of the flow of life and the flow of love as a flow of energy that's always passing through our body. So a lot of times when we have kind of traumas or we have blockages or any kind of stuff that's held up inside of us that we haven't processed, then what happens is that flow of energy hits that blockage and it triggers us. So that's when we become like angry or frustrated. In any area of life, in relationships or business or anything that triggers you, they say that there's a blockage there. So it's usually a trauma or something that you've been through in the past. And he puts it like this. So the best way to keep this flow going and to get rid of these blockages is to just notice these blockages as they come up. So notice these triggers. Like, what are some things that people say, or some situations, maybe traffic or someone at work or whatever? What are these things that trigger you? So just noticing what triggers you and just observing it and noticing it, and then taking a big breath and then just saying in your head, like, I release you or I let you go now, right? And it's pretty simple stuff, like, but it's like super, super effective because this comes up in every area of our lives. If we have triggers, then something that someone says or something that someone does will hit that blockage, and then it's almost like too much energy pent up, and then we almost like we want to explode, right? That's when we have these anger flare-outs and these moments of weakness and these moments that we turn into like a monster, right? It's because we have this built up energy, and it's just not that flow of love, that flow of energy is not just flowing through us freely, right? So the best way to live an unconditionally healthy, happy, loving life is to notice these blockages and just release them as they come. So one way is to notice it and just say, I like to do the catch and release, right? So just catch it. I catch you. I see you. I catch you, and I release you. Or a good exercise that Michael talks about is covering it over with something positive. And we're not pushing it down or repressing it or suppressing it. We're just putting something over top of it. We're noticing it, bringing awareness to it. That's the biggest part, is bringing awareness to it. And then we're just thinking of something positive, like a positive affirmation or something related to the situation that'll help us gain a more positive perspective moving forward. So he calls it like leaning away, right? So when you feel you're being triggered by something, notice it. Okay, whoa, I'm very angry right now because that person said this, and it triggered something that maybe came up from the past, or even if you don't know what it's connected to in the past, just noticing that you're being triggered is huge, right? And then just kind of leaning away from it, like, okay, cool, I'm not going to let you overrule my life.